What's going on, everybody? This is MDENT313, and I'm back at y'all with another one. Listen, Icy Pitbull Cruz said something that absolutely blew my mind. And it's not what he said, it's the fact that out of all people, he was the one that said it, right? Completely caught me off guard, right? He did an interview, and I apologize, I forgot what the lady's name was, what her channel is, but he had this interpreter there, and she asked him, she go, can I get your thoughts on the Devin Haney versus Garcia rematch? Who do you see winning that fight? And he pretty much looked at her like she was crazy. He was like, Devin Haney. And the interpreter said, you know, Isaac Pitbull Cruz had to relay the message to the interpreter. And what the guy said was, on an even playing field, no PEDs, Ryan Garcia cannot beat Devin Haney. Woo-wee! Listen to me. I've been saying this, and I've been saying this for the longest. And it's hilarious that a lot of, you know, the African American fighters feel the opposite way, but we got the Hispanic fighter saying the same thing that I said. And what's crazy to think about is PEDs has been running rampant in boxing since forever, right? I remember it was a fighter. It was two fighters for top rank. This had to be in the 90s. I'm gonna look that story up for you guys. But one of the fighters, man, he got seriously hurt in that fight. You know, I think it was Luis Nesto. I think it was Nesto, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, he got hurt so bad, like, where the guy, they found out the guy was on steroids, and it was a big scandal. It was a bad thing, bad look for top rank and everything like that. And, you know, he seriously damaged that guy. You know, his career was pretty much over. He was no longer the same fighter. I mean, he did significant damage. And it takes me back to when Floyd Mayweather, a lot of people don't know, because they don't like Floyd Mayweather, a lot of people don't realize that it was Manny Pacquiao that was holding up, you know, the fight for 5 years. You know, Floyd Mayweather get the blame for it. And, you know, everybody would say, so what that he's taking steroids, just fight him anyway. If you could beat him, it don't really matter. And Floyd had an epic rant, you know, that you can still see all over social media, pretty much when he say, if something happened to me, are you going to take care of my kids? Are you going to take care of my family? And, you know, people was pretty much trying to call Floyd Mayweather a coward for not taking a fight under those conditions, when everybody knew that, well, we'll say allegedly. I can't say that. We're going to say allegedly. But behind the scenes, a lot of fighters and trainers and people knew what was going on with the Manny Pacquiao situation, allegedly, right? And Floyd Mayweather made a point. He said, listen, because a lot of the guys, the you know, the big name guys that Floyd Mayweather went on to beat, the Shane Mosleys, the Oscar De La Hoyas, the Miguel Cottos, the what's that guy name? Shane Mosley, Miguel Cotto, Oscar De La Hoya, and there was one more, Juan Manuel Marquez. Manny Pacquiao fought him after. And because Manny Pacquiao's style, and Manny Pacquiao do have a devastating left hand, you know, he was knocking those guys out. But Floyd Mayweather brought up a point like, you got this guy who moved up 8 weight divisions, and you mean to tell me that he's walking through Miguel Cotto punches like it's nothing? And we know when it comes to chin, Floyd Mayweather has one of the best chins in boxing. Floyd Mayweather has never even touched the canvas. Now, Floyd Mayweather has been hurt in fights, you know, as we seen in the Shane Mosley fight. You know, what's the guy, the Argentinian guy? He hit Floyd with a couple punches. One punch was a good one, knocked his tooth out. He ended up fighting him twice, the guy that beat Adrian Broner. Man, I promise you, when I cut this camera on, man, a lot of stuff just fly right out my head. But point being, when Floyd said, man, how did this guy move up to 154, fight Miguel Cotto? Now he just walking through Miguel Cotto punches like he the Terminator. And Manny Pacquiao got knocked out early in his career in the early 90s, right? In addition to that, you know, he had a lot of trouble with Juan Manuel Marquez. But anyway, long story short on that situation, Manny Pacquiao's trainer ended up coming out after the Floyd Mayweather Manny Pacquiao fight finally happened and admitted that it was Manny Pacquiao who didn't want, you know, the fight didn't happen because of him, because he didn't want to take the Olympic style drug testing because Manny Pacquiao was scared of needles. And you know, everybody made fun of the situation because Manny Pacquiao had all those tattoos, right? So it didn't make sense. Like, how you scared of needles, but you got tattoos all over the place. So we can put the pieces to the puzzle together without actually saying it, right? Because if you say it without proof, you can't be sued and held liable, right? But if you put the pieces together, you get what's going on. So Isaac Pitbull Cruz and a lot of other people knew what was going on with the Ryan Garcia situation. Not only did he miss weight, you know, but he was juiced to the gills, right? And I could say that about Ryan Garcia because he failed multiple PED tests, you know, from VADA as well as the New York Athletic State Commission. So I can say that because it's public record, right? With Manny Pacquiao, it's never been proven, but you could put the context clues together. But it don't take a genius to know that. The reason why is because when you go back and you watch the fight, if you watch it from an unbiased lens, Devin Haney was thoroughly outboxing Ryan Garcia minus the knockdown rounds, right? Now, you have to give a guy 2 points automatically every time, you know, the person get knocked down. So, and it's kind of weird because in that same scenario, when Deontay Wilder did the same thing to Tyson Fury in the first fight, they ruled that a draw. But in a Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia situation, they gave the fight to Ryan Garcia. And this is what people be saying about the sport of boxing. There's no consistency with nothing. There's no consistency with how you score cards. There's no consistency how guys are being punished for, you know, taking PEDs or cheating with loaded gloves and things of that nature. And it's no consistency with anything, right? So it makes the sport of boxing look like a complete joke. But when he said that and he looked at the reporter the way he looked at her, you could tell that the reporter, the young lady, she was taken aback by it because she was expecting for him to say Ryan Garcia. But if you in those circles, then you know. The reason why, and this would piss me off with people who try to pretend that they don't know that performance enhancers actually work and they don't, you know, that they don't give you an advantage. If they don't really give you an advantage, why would they be banned in all sports? If you get caught with, I remember just recently, DeAndre Hopkins, wide receiver for the Kansas City Chiefs, he was the wide receiver for the Titans prior. He got a 10-game suspension because he got caught with using performance-enhancing drugs. My receiver, Jameson Williams, if I'm not mistaken, he got like a 4-game suspension for it. So if it don't give you a competitive advantage, then anybody and everybody will be taking it. If you look at the famous baseball trio, you know, when I was coming up, Mark McGwire, the home run hitters, Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, Barry Bonds, and it was another guy. I don't know if Barry Bonds was officially called, but Jose Canseco, Barry Bonds, Mark McGwire. No, Jose Canseco, Sammy Sosa, and Mark McGwire was all busted on those steroids and hitting all those home runs. And those guys, not those guys in particular, but you know, the sports figureheads, it was such an iconic season and highly marketable season for baseball that they didn't really want to, you know, punish those guys and put an asterisk on that season, because that season was so epic and legendary and profitable. But you had to, because it was cheating, right? But in boxing, when it comes to certain people, they don't mind if those people have a competitive advantage. You know, as long as those guys generate money, those guys have a huge fan base, and they're doing it to a certain group of fighters. But conversely, when it was Jarrell Miller, juice to the gills, that dude got a 4-year suspension. He's the only fighter I've ever seen harshly punished for that. Everybody else got a slap on the wrist, 6-month suspension, year suspension, and that's not even really a punishment, because if you know about boxing, today's fighters, especially the higher profile fighters, they only fighting once, maybe twice a year at most anyway. So it's just pretty much a slap on the wrist. But anyway, man, shout out to Isaac Pitbull Cruz for telling the guys honest truth. Listen, I'm gonna say this now. If Devin Haney come back, I know he's coming back against Jose Ramirez in May. If Devin Haney is 80% of what he was prior to taking all that damage to Ryan Garcia in that fight, he's going to thoroughly outbox Ryan Garcia again. And it's going to be worse. It's going to be even worse this time, because those, like Devin Haney is not going to be eager to try to go in there and mix it up with Ryan Garcia and knock him out. He's just going to flat out outbox him. And it's going to look crazy. It's going to almost look like Floyd Mayweather versus, rest in peace, to Arturo Gatti. It's just going to be a master class that a lot of people are going to be upset that they came to see that fight. Because Devin Haney, when you fighting great boxers, like pure boxers, the reason why it's so difficult beating them a second time is because they are such tacticians that they don't make the same mistakes. When you watch the Andre Ward versus Sergey Kovalev fight, when Sergey Kovalev got that knockdown, I believe it was either in the first or the second round, he couldn't duplicate that again, because it was nothing special that Sergey Kovalev did. Andre Ward just simply made a mistake, and Sergey Kovalev capitalized on it, but he couldn't capitalize on it in the second fight. He ended up getting stopped in that fight. So, you know, let me know what you guys think. Do you agree with Isaac Pitbull Cruz, or do you think it's going to be the same old same in this rematch? And are you excited to see the rematch? Let me know in the comment section, guys. Like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you guys later. I'm out. Peace.